Hey guys, welcome into the PuggoReborn channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Brandenburger squad for the Germans in Call to Arms Gates of Hell. Now this is an elite unit, but not just any type of elite unit. The things that it can do are above and beyond what a lot of other elite units can do. So with that in mind, let me know if there's something that you didn't know about, or if you did know all this stuff, where does it land in your list of best infantry in the game? Without further ado, with highlights at the end and all, let's get into the video. In order for me to make a case that the Brandenburger squad is one of the most elite infantry squads in the game, I have to compare it to other infantry squads. More specifically, what makes an elite soldier. Across the whole board, every faction, to be an elite soldier, you have to have 375 hit points, 0.1 hit point regeneration, 300 stamina, 7.5 stamina recovery, 1.0 speed. In terms of mechanic ability, 0.50, and your proficiency of the weapon you're holding in your hand has to start with a 5. Any other weapon that you're not holding on to should be a 4. That is what makes an elite unit. And for starters, when it comes to the Brandenburger squad, the only difference between all those stats is their speed goes from a 1.0 to a 1.2. Economy matters the most when it comes to getting elite units, and while that may sound obvious, the thing that you may be missing is the fact of how much research points you actually have to invest to get an elite unit. Every faction has their own elite unit that you can get you relatively quick. Now this is to say, obviously, an elite unit like the Tiger is going to be a lot longer of a tree. However, the Brandenburger squad only takes 6 points. So on a low economy setting, a lot of times you can get the Brandenburger squad relatively quick. So if we look at the research tree, all you have to do is 2, 4, and 6. Now, it's not going to cost you much, but the problem is it is a dead end tree. So there is a downside to this. You are getting an elite unit with all types of abilities that you would love to have, but it's tough because you're dead ending your tree. Now, if you're comfortable with just the Brandenburger squad, fantastic. You have your soldiers for the next 30 days. However, if you were to invest 8 points, you would get all the way to the Fallschirmjäger. I personally believe that the Brandenburger squad should connect to the Fallschirmjäger because in history, the Brandenburger squad was disbanded and their units went into the Fallschirmjäger squads. So I feel like that would make more sense. I feel like you should have to do both trees to get the Fallschirmjäger. That's just me. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But the economy side, when it comes to research points, arguably the most important thing you need in Conquest is only 6. But is it cost effective? That is the real question here. I want to start by saying that this is an apple-to-apple comparison. This is an elite unit. It has special things that makes it so stinking elite. So I want to keep it to elite units in comparison for this cost effectiveness. I will say a lot of you guys are probably going to bang the table saying, Pioneer Squad, you got to compare the two. Well, here's my comparison essentially with the Pioneer Squad as a quick get it out of the way. Number one, they're not elite units. They have I would say more elite equipment, not quite elite, very close because of everything that comes with the Pioneer Squad, but they are a dead end tree just like Brandenburger. And I say that because you see, you can keep going down this tree, but only to an armored unit. They don't get better. The soldiers don't get better. So you have a very squishy unit with really good equipment. That doesn't mesh. Most people will use the Pioneer Squad solely for the purpose of holding out until they can get to the Fallschirmjäger. They won't touch any other squad. They'll go right for the Fallschirmjäger. I know this because I have friends that play the game. I've talked with other YouTubers, other people within the Discord that have used these squads as well. And it's what I did in the past, admittedly. That's my comparison. Squishy unit, great equipment, not elite. Okay, feels elite, but it's not. Next. What we're going to do is going to compare them to 2 squads specifically. And yes, there are a few elite units within the German infantry, but I'm going to keep it to the Gebirgsjäger and the Fallschirmjäger. Starting out, the most comparable would be the Gebirgsjäger with 2 SMGs, 1 MG34 with a belt, so that's 100 rounds, and the rest are carabiners. They do have AT units, or they do have AT equipment on them, like grenades and so on. The Brandenburger, however, comes with 2 SMGs. It comes with 2 MG42s which come with the drums, so you're only going to get 60 rounds before you have to reload. The Fallschirmjäger is a whole nother beast in itself. The Fallschirmjäger comes with 3 MGs, 1 sniper rifle, comes with the Gewehr 41. It also comes with 2 MG 42s that have a belt, which is 100 rounds again, and it comes with a grenadier unit. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything. I don't think so. They do have special equipment on them, like better AT grenades, yada yada. Okay, let's get back to square one. Oh, and they have 12 units compared to the Gebirgsjäger and the Brandenburger, which are 10 units. The reason that I'm bringing this up is because the Brandenburger squad comes with elite abilities that these other two don't. And that is what makes them so stinking amazing. Now, the Gebirgs squad is very similar, but they lack things that the Brandenburger squad does have. Now I'm going to draw your attention over to the left side of the screen. You're going to notice that we are looking at the mini-map with the Gebirgsjäger. Now, the Gebirgsjäger is a elite unit, and this is his vision range on the map. But if I turn the camera and you still look at the mini-map, you're going to notice this other soldier, the Brandenburger. Now, the Brandenburger has scout range. All of them have scout range, mind you. They can see 20% further. The cone expands 20%. It's not just further in one direction. It's literally the whole cone is expanded. I'll just back up here and you can see on the mini-map how vastly different. The Brandenburger squad can see further, and on top of that, we're just going to address it right now, but you notice in the middle of the screen there, you're going to see that little eyeball with the cross through it. That means that he has a 20% bonus in stealth. This is ridiculous. So not only can they see further, they have a recon, they are literally a recon squad, but they also have a 20% stealth bonus just standing. And in a crouching, they get a bonus on top of that. Laying down, they get a bonus on top of that. Laying down inside of a bush, standing in a bush, they get a bigger bonus. So these soldiers are not only in some part invisible on the battlefield, but they can also see farther. Keep that in mind when you're looking at these units. It is, by all accounts, one of the best recon teams in the game. The abnormal speed is what makes this unit very interesting on top of everything else. We talked about how the range is farther, they're stealthy, but they're faster, right? So they have a 1.2 speed compared to the average baseline elite speed of 1.0. To put this in perspective, I'm going to speed this video up so you guys can see, but I'm going to race a soldier, the Gebirgsjäger. I'm going to race him all the way to the end of this road, and I'm going to let him have the head start, right? So we just clicked on him. I'll wait until... Let's wait. Oh yeah, we're going to give him that head start. Here we go. And we are off. And there you have it. You can definitely tell that these guys are a lot faster. As we talk about the equipment, understand equipment is just as good as the soldier, and the soldier is only as good as his equipment. What I mean by that specifically is the fact that the game does scale as time goes on. You need to get better equipment. One thing that the US excels at is having the M1 Garand, and that weapon in the hands of a 3 proficiency unit compared to a 5, while the 5 is going to hit more targets, the 3 is still able to pump out more rounds. Being that that's a standard issue weapon, you know, the carabiner it hails in comparison. It's the slowest of the rifles in terms of, you know, using the bolt action and getting up and firing. So keep that in mind. I do like the damage, don't get me wrong, but the fact that the Brandenburger squad doesn't have any of the Gewehr 43s is very unfortunate. The Fallschirmjäger, I believe, has 3 of them. So, like, you know, of course you're getting a little more firepower, more quicker firepower. But, yeah, I hate when I'm using a German soldier and I'm trying to fight a US soldier that's at 3 proficiency compared to my 5 with a carabiner. And I would even prefer a Mosin, for instance. The Mosin has a faster bolt. Now, not all these units are necessarily standard issue. They all come with smoke grenades, M24 grenades. They all come with the M24 AT grenade, okay? So keep that in mind. They do also have a standard issue German knife. and they can do foxholes if they need to. But yeah, the one thing I will say about the M24 AT grenade is it does fall off in the later game. It's good against light vehicles. It can be good against it is good against medium tanks, but you really got to be precise where you're throwing grenade itself, so keep that in mind. A lot of times I like to go right for around the tracks, right in between the grooves there. You can actually get a burst into the tank. I like to go after the actual turret, because the turret has, in general, most times, lesser armor, so you can hit that. With the US equipment, a lot of times they have the open hatch, so if you can chuck it over and in, then you can do some serious damage. You also can cook all these grenades, and they come with some special things as well. For instance, let's look at the MG operator. Really important here, I personally love the MG42. I think it's second to the 50 cal. This thing just absolutely rips, and the fact that the Brandenburger squad has it after the 6 cost is ridiculous. Okay, very, very good weapon early on against things you can just, it's a meat grinder. Also, the thing with this, one of the MG users, is they come with a stick of dynamite. The stick of dynamite, but it'll do a lot of damage. Keep that in mind. There's some really odd things that you're gonna find. The MG assistant, of course, comes with a 600 rounds. If you keep the two together just like this, he will feed him the rounds. As long as they're in the same squad, he'll feed him the rounds. Otherwise, you can just hand the stuff over to him and go on your merry way. Again, you're going to notice this, here's another MG assistant, and he has 2 of the M24 AT grenades. So, like I said, it's not standard issue in a way of like they all have the same thing, but everybody's using one of these equipments. Now, this right here is the squad leader. Squad leader does come with the demolition charge. Again, demolition charge, you can cook it and throw it. Does not have a rig radius, so you got to be careful. You're either going to suicide your guy, or you're going to just chuck that thing, get rid of it. But yeah, this can take out anything. You just get it on the engine. That's what I like to do. And then another dynamite. This one is on the other MG user. It's just interesting. I was going to say, I didn't realize they both had it. I thought only one had it, so that's my bad on that one. But then I know that the assistant leader has another dynamite stick. And then finally, here's just one of the normal soldiers. As we finish out with the Brandenburger squad, stay tuned for the highlights, but I do want to ask you what your thoughts are of the Brandenburger squad. What you've learned today. Did it serve you? Did it not? Where would you put them in a top 5 of your, or top 3 of your favorite German soldiers, rather? And I'm going to give a little bit of history to put into place and what I would change, and also my final thoughts on this unit. So for starters, Brandenburger squad was designed as the first task force ever made in history, okay? They were designed early World War II. The idea was to get behind enemy lines. It wasn't a saboteur type of thing. It was more infiltrate, attack, take out points. And what made them so good is the fact that they could go in with civilian clothes and they'd go under the radar because they could speak. They could speak different languages. A lot of the soldiers were French, Polish, and German, and that's how they were able to get behind enemy lines or be able to infiltrate certain areas. That's one of the really cool things. The thing I would change about these squads in general is having a sniper or a marksman or both. The Brandenburger squad was known for having one of these within their squad. You don't see that here, which is unfortunate. Now, later war, they ended up getting disbanded because of the Fallschirmjäger and because of how big and how outsourced they were. So they disbanded them, put them into the Fallschirmjägers, and that is why in Gates of Hell you're able to get them so early on. It's only a 6 research point cost unit. In comparison of the Pioneer squad and the price tag, I think it's a really damn good unit. The items that come on them do hail in comparison at some portion, and really it comes down to the fact that the carabiners are not a great weapon, especially as we get into the late war. The MG42, however, I personally believe is better than the MG34 with that rapid fire. It does come with the drum, not the belt, so you're not going to get as many rounds hammering down at a time. You do have that reload time. Not crazy. However, the big thing that really is sneaky with this squad is the actual equipment. Having a smoke on every single unit is insanely helpful to get away, to get close, or to save your guys. Can't underestimate that. 2 grenades about for each soldier is also very good for cooking. Being able to use dynamite, for instance, or even you get 2 sticks of dynamite, 1 demolition charge, and every soldier comes with M24 AT grenade. Being that they have the speed, the stealth capabilities, they can hide And they also have that recon ability, so they can see further. They're faster than all the other units. In fact, in a race across the map, technically, they would win over a medic because of the fact that they have more stamina. Elite stats across the board, nothing crazy there. I would like to see the little things that I'd like to see. Unfortunately, that's not going to be there. But the last thing is that what I can definitively say from using the squad extensively, if you guys haven't seen the German campaign, it's season 3. I used these guys throughout most of the conquest. I had highs, I had lows, but when I finally was using them as more of a unit that you could pop out of the trees and get at artillery or run up on a tank, they became incredibly deadly. So they do last the test of time. It's just at what capacity are you using them and how often are you deploying this squad. So those are my thoughts on it. I think it is the best recon squad in the game, and I'm going to actually say bar none. If you guys can prove to me otherwise, they are just so damn good. The grenades could be better. You know, they could upgrade from the M24 ATs. I'm saying that a squad like this is great all around, though it could be better if you pick stuff up that's going to make them more effective. Without further ado, now guys, I hope you guys did like this one. Give me your thoughts and opinion on this squad. I will see you guys in the next one. You idiot! Why did they do that? Suck. Suck it! Oh shit! Oh man, that didn't work. No! No, I keep pressing too much. Suck my... I shouldn't have said that, not on YouTube. It's gonna blow. Holy shit, he's gone. Oh shit. Nice. good. Oh shit, here comes the plane.